This is Nathan Fantasy Football League Updates.
Weather.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Pleasure to be here. You guys are the best. Nathan, Fantasy Football League Updates. The 2024 campaign has concluded, which means one thing. It's time to do our annual 2024 award show. That's right. We're going to hand out awards, reminisce a little bit on the season, what went right and what went wrong. And we're going to waste no more time. Let's just reflect a little bit. Usually the 200-point club, which was only one member, and it came in the final week of the playoffs in the consolation side, where the Ithaca Iguanas are the lone member in the 200 club this season. Congratulations to the Ithaca Iguanas on receiving a 200 club point membership. The only time we've had one member, usually there's about 2, 3, 4. So lone member is something to be happy with. That offense shown through all season. So congratulations to the Ithaca Iguanas on a offensive put season. From there, we're going to move quickly to our team MVPs. Let's get those out of the way before we get to the true awards. And first up, we'll start with the runner-up. The Michigan Avengers. You make it all the way to the championship game. You fall short, but you've got to have an MVP. Who is the guy that got you there? And it's none other than Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs, this year's Michigan Avengers team MVP. Congratulations to him. These awards are directly selected by the manager, so no other votes come into this except the manager themselves. So Jahmyr Gibbs takes away our first team MVP. Next up, the Brisbane Bay Bandicoots. They had a lot of good talent this year, a lot of offensive output, but they decided ultimately to go to the number one receiver in the league, Jamar Chase. Congratulations, Jamar, on a well-sought-out award. We're going to hear his name a little bit more down the line. He's been nominated for a couple different awards. We'll see how many he can come away with this go-around. Next up, the Empire Strikes Back. They had a lot of talent that surged late. You look at names like Puka Nacua, Saquon Barkley, Justin Jefferson. You look at the quarterback play. Even Jared Goff or Baker Mayfield could be considered for this award, but it was hard to top one of the most surprising players this season. We didn't know how he would do in a new scene, but Saquon Barkley takes home the Empire Strikes Back MVP. He beats out probably some of the best competition all the way around. That one was kind of a toss-up on which direction it would go, but Saquon Barkley, congratulations after your amazing first season in Philadelphia. Next up, the Flying Squirrels, and honestly, this one's a big surprise. They struggled with injuries all season. They had a lot of trades made in a lot of different situations. They did unfortunately fall short, so they will be this year's loser. Both managers will be eating 70 hot dogs in 7 days. Look out for that blog soon, possibly. We'll find out. But the Flying Squirrels MVP is Justin Herbert. That's right. This might come as a shock, but congratulations, Justin Herbert. You thought maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown had that one, Chase Brown even, or James Conner, but no. It was surprising how well Herbert did in the Harbaugh offense. So congratulations, Justin Herbert, on walking away with an MVP. Next up, the young studded Grand Rapids Groundhogs. They got some failed older veterans in Cooper Kupp and Travis Kelce down the stretch. but the true rookie shined through. Jaden Daniels is this year's Grand Rapids Groundhogs MVP. He's also up for the Rook Award, so we'll see how he does later on. But we're going to bounce from one rookie to the next. Brock Bowers, the Ithaca Iguanas team MVP. Two rookies go back to back, both of them up for the Rook Award, but that should be a fun battle. But congratulations to both of those young guys. They had incredible seasons this year, and they both helped their teams out in big ways on a weekly basis. Next up, the Rocky River Rough Riders, our third place team this season, and they put forth an obvious choice, Josh Allen, who's also up for multiple awards as well. He's even up for the VVP. Josh Allen is this year's MVP for the Rocky River Rough Riders. Congratulations to Josh Allen, who literally put the Rocky River Rough Riders on their back all season. Next up, the Zest Meisters. Zest Meisters had some surprising end of the year season struggles. They come up so short of the playoffs by mere win or mere 20 points. But their team MVP was somebody who got them a ton of those points, Lamar Jackson. Congratulations to Lamar on this year's team MVP. He earned it. He's going to be fighting there with Josh Allen for that VVP. And finally, we couldn't forget about this year's champion, the Bowling Green Cave Shrimp, and no better person than to hand out this award than the Bowling Green Cave Shrimp's manager. We'll send it over to him, who has his team's MVP.
How's it going, everybody? It is the manager for the Bowling Green Cave Shrimp, your 2024 Fantasy League champion. Thank you guys so much for an awesome season, and I'm here to announce my team's MVP. And obviously, as the champion, we've got a lot of good options. I mean, you look at this squad, Brock Purdy stepped up in a monster way this season after Dak went down. I had both Steelers quarterbacks. They did good enough, I guess, to get me the chip. Jonathan Taylor, my first-round pick, was pretty good this season. Garrett Wilson showed up when it mattered, and same with JT. And can't forget the tight end love, Trey McBride. Thanks for finally getting in the end zone in the last week of play. You know, you were a consistent scorer, even without getting in the end zone, so I appreciate Trey McBride for that. But the Bowling Green Cave Shrimp, the 2024 champions, MVP is Josh Jacobs. Congratulations, Josh. You earned it. I mean, you had like 9 games straight with 20 plus. Honestly, I think you're up for Mr. Consistent. I think you should win Mr. Consistent. But boy, was it an awesome season. Congratulations, Josh Jacobs. You are my 2024 champion MVP. Hopefully you can win a couple more hardware down the stretch. So congratulations, Josh Jacobs, and thank you guys for an amazing season. Looking forward to run it back next year. We'll see you guys in 2025.
Well, congratulations to the Cave Shrimp and Josh Jacobs on earning his team's MVP. He definitely deserved it, and congratulations to the Cave Shrimp on an incredible season all the way around. So that'll conclude our specifically team awards. Let's move on to the real deal. We've got a great set of awards, and we'll start out a little basic. This was voted on by the entire league management system. So all 11 managers were involved in this voting process. And we'll start right away with the Best Thumbnail Award. This one was between Week 9's Halloween thumbnail, Week 13's Thanksgiving thumbnail, Week 16's Offensive Explosion in the Playoffs thumbnail, and of course the Week 17 Christmas thumbnail. And coming away with 6 votes was the Week 16 Playoff Round Offensive Explosion Award winner. Congratulations to that thumbnail. That was the thumbnail of the year. So we're cruising already. Already through one thumbnail, but where could we be without our special guests? We had 3 on this year. We had in Week 7 our good friend Mike. In week 9, we welcomed on Where's Waldo. And of course, we couldn't forget about the dynamic trio led by Matt McAfee to join us in the wild card round. But with 7 votes, the winner of the best special guest of the season goes to Matt McAfee. Congratulations, Matt. Thank you for joining our show. And I believe we've got an acceptance video from Matt McAfee. Let's send it over to him for his acceptance speech.
Nathan Fantasy Football League updates. It's Matt McAfee, and I am honored to accept the Fantasy Football League Guest of the Year award. It was an honor getting to participate this year, follow the league. You guys did awesome. Congratulations to the Bowling Green Cave Shrimp on winning a fantastic season, well earned. And congratulations to all of you for a successful and very competitive season. I'm looking forward to the 2025 campaign. But again, thank you so much for the award. I appreciate it. And we'll see you guys in the 2025 season.
Well, thank you so much, Matt, for that special speech. We appreciate you having you on this season, and we hope to see you again next year in the 2025 campaign. Next up, we move on to the best interview of the year, and this one actually goes to a 3-way tie. That's right, 3 teams. All of the teams that had an interview were in this one, but the 3 teams that received 3 votes: the Brisbane Bay Bandicoots, the Bay City Bunnies, and of course the Rocky River Rough Riders all received 3 votes. So congratulations to all 3. You will split the best interview award this season. Just some awesome interviews this year, and those 3 had the best ones according to the population of managers. Now we get into a couple more of the ticky-tacky awards. We've got the best new team name, so teams that switched up their team name for this year. So the Michigan Avengers, Ithaca Iguanas are both excluded from this one, as well as the Empire Strikes Back and the Zest Meisters. But running away with the vote, 6 votes, the Guantanamo Bay Flying Squirrels. Congratulations to the double-managed last-place Guantanamo Bay Flying Squirrels. You're coming away with some hardware as the best new team name. We'll see if they stick with it or if they mix it up like a multitude of the teams did this season. We'll have to find out, though, in the 2025 campaign. Next up, the most surprising team. The 4 up for votes were the Empire Strikes Back, finishing 6-8, missing the playoffs, and then becoming extremely good in the playoffs. The Zest Meisters finishing 7-7 and missing the playoffs. The Grand Rapids Groundhogs with their young team finishing 5-9 and missing the playoffs. Or the Rocky River Rough Riders finishing 9-5, being the number 1 seed and finishing at 3rd place after being projected last in the league. And running away with more than half of the votes, it is the Rocky River Rough Riders. They received 7 votes and won in a landslide fashion, finishing 9-5 as the most surprising team this year. I'd have to agree. I mean, you look at what Joe Mixon, Josh Allen, Bo Nix did for this team. I mean, they carried them. I did not expect them to be a 9-5 winning games by the skin of their teeth in low-scoring games, but they did it. So congratulations to the Rocky River Rough Riders on winning the most surprising team award. Next up, we've got, of course, the Game of the Year. The 4 nominees for this award was the wild card round, both matchups. Avengers defeating the Bandicoots 192-187, and then the Bunnies defeating the Iguanas 160-155. We also have the Week 3 Rough Riders comeback defeat over the Bowling Green Cave Shrimp, and then the Week 4 Flying Squirrels Michigan Avengers tie. And this one was really close. By a mere 2 votes, the winner of this award goes to the Avengers defeating the Bandicoots 192-187 in the wild card round. What an upset that was. Could not believe that. And it was almost a 200-200 battle. So super fun game there. And that is this year's Game of the Year. That'll go in the Hall of Fame, or at least the award category, with teams like or matchups like the punter off last season and then the 200-200 battle. Now we move on to the Big Brain Band-Aid Award. This goes to the most injured team of the year. We had some good candidates for this one. The Empire Strikes Back, who lost Puka for some time, Rashee Rice, Tank Dell, Brian Thomas Jr. missed some time. The Rocky River Rough Riders, who lost Mixon, Devonta Smith, and Anthony Richardson for some time. The Bowling Green Cave Shrimp, who were without Debo Pacheco and Dak Prescott. Ithaca Iguanas, who missed Kamara, Montgomery, and Hurts at the end of the season. And then the Zest Meisters, who were without Kenneth Walker, Nico Collins, Chris Olave, and of course, CMC for most of the year. And in a landslide victory, no doubt, the Big Brain Band-Aid Award goes to the Zest Meisters with 8 votes this season. I mean, you talk about the number 1 overall pick being injured, no surprise there. Nico Collins, your 2 wide receivers, and Chris Olave and Nico Collins missing time. Kenneth Walker was dealing with injuries at the end of the year. Tough go for the Zest Meisters, who are now going to be known this offseason as the Big Brain Band-Aid Award winners. I mean, not much you can do, and you look at how much success they still had, even without those guys. You can only imagine if those guys were healthy, where this team finishes, and maybe they sneak in to the playoffs. So our final team award goes to Best Rivalry. That includes every rivalry we saw this year, from the Genesis Bowl, the Battle of Zarvis, the Ice Bowl, the Bingo Boys Classic, the Founders Classic, and the Battle for Shelley's Fork. And it was a close one, spread out amongst the different teams, but the overall winner with 4 votes was the Battle for Shelley's Fork, an all-time classic. It is now a 9-0 series lead for the Empire over the Guantanamo Bay Flying Squirrel, but boy, is it the best rivalry around with that trophy of Shelley's Fork at hand. So, can't forget about that one. We always enjoy that one. So, congratulations to the Battle for Shelley's Fork for winning this year's best rivalry. Now we move on. It's player-specific awards from now on, and we start with Mr. Inconsistent. These were players that were up and down and up and down. They'd have really good weeks one week and then really poor weeks the next. And this one was close all the way around. A lot of players receiving votes. The nominees are Jamison Williams, Kyler Murray, Tyreek Hill, Travis Etienne, Marvin Harrison Jr., George Pickens, Cooper Kupp, and Xavier Worthy. This one got a lot of votes spread out, but the winner for Mr. Inconsistent goes to Marvin Harrison Jr. Congratulations. I mean, he started out the season very up and down. You look at, there was like 20, 29, and then he hit a rough patch, and then he was like serviceable, and then he was good, and then bad, and boy, was he inconsistent all season. So he kind of had those games where you're like, oh yeah, I'll start him this week, and they did not perform. So congratulations, Marvin Harrison Jr. on winning Mr. Inconsistent. Now we move on to our next award. We go from Mr. Inconsistent to Mr. Consistent. And we had some good nominees. Starting off the nominations, it was Bijan Robinson, Josh Jacobs, George Pickens, David Montgomery, and Terry McLaurin. And the winner by 1 vote with 5 votes goes to Bijan Robinson. I mean, in a close second with 4 votes was David Montgomery, who really probably embodies Mr. Consistent. You look at his numbers, Montgomery for the Iguanas this season, he was like 15-16, 15-16, 13-16, like every week. But Bijan Robinson for the Brisbane Bay Bandicoots took it to another level. Mr. Consistent, Bijan Robinson was about a 20-piece every week down the stretch. And that's what you need out of Mr. Consistent. He gets it done, and he does it in bunches. So congratulations to the Bandicoots and Bijan Robinson on winning this year's Mr. Consistent Award. Now we move on to our waiver wire warrior ad. The best player added off the Warriors this year. And boy, were there some good ones. We're looking at the likes of Khalil Shakir for the Bowling Green Cave Shrimp, Bo Nix of the Rocky River Rough Riders, Chase Brown of the Flying Squirrels, Bucky Irving of the Iguanas, Jonnu Smith of the Groundhogs, Juwan Jennings of the Zest Meisters, and Sam Darnold of the Grand Rapids Groundhogs. And the winner with 4 votes is Bo Nix, the rookie quarterback. He gave the Rough Riders an even more push behind Josh Allen, and now he walks away with the waiver warrior ad of the season. He was a second warrior ad because the Groundhogs picked him up, then dropped him, and then the Rough Riders took it and ran with him as he leads not only Broncos country, but Rough Riders country to a number 1 seed and a 3rd place finish. Congratulations, Bo Nix and the Rough Riders on winning the Waiver Warrior Ad Award. Now we move on to the best bench warmer. This was the player who scored a ridiculous amount of points, but was almost always on the bench. The nominees are Jacoby Myers of the Bandicoots, Jackson Smith and Jigba of the Bandicoots, Keenan Allen of the Zestmeisters, Drake May of the Michigan Avengers, Xavier Worthy of the Flying Squirrels, Kelvin Ridley of the Bay City Bunnies, and Jamison Williams of the Bowling Green Cave Shrimp. And walking away with the Bench Warmer Award with 5 votes, the Bowling Green Cave Shrimp's Jamison Williams. Congratulations to Jamison Williams. I mean, the reason he was probably on the Cave Shrimp's bench was because he was very inconsistent, but there were a lot of 20 bombs that were missed on the bench. There was no 20 bombs offensively for the Cave Shrimp when he was rostered up. So the best bench warmer award goes to Jamison Williams for all of the 20 bombs he left on this year's Cave Shrimp bench. So now we move to draft related. We're getting down to the finale, but we start with the worst draft pick of the year. The nominees for this one, quite simple: Christian McCaffrey, pick 1, round 1. Tyreek Hill, round 1, pick 3 of the Guantanamo Bay Flying Squirrels. CJ Stroud, round 2, pick 4 of the Bay City Bunnies, the first quarterback off the board. And Breece Hall, round 1, pick 9 of the Michigan Avengers. And the winner of the worst draft pick goes to CJ Stroud with 6 votes in the league. The first quarterback off the board is outrageous for CJ Stroud. Josh Allen was there, Jalen Hurts was there, Joe Burrow was there. There are a lot of better talents than CJ Stroud to go as the first quarterback off the board. Honestly, even Lamar or Patrick Mahomes would have been better than CJ Stroud, and the Bunnies paid for that down the stretch and really all season. So the worst draft pick goes to the Bay City Bunnies and CJ Stroud. Now we move on the flip side. Let's look at this steal of the draft. And we have 4 nominees. Surprisingly, 3 of them rookies. Jaden Daniels, round 5, pick 10 from the Grand Rapids Groundhogs. Brock Bowers, round 12, pick 9 of the Ithaca Iguanas. Brian Thomas Jr., round 16, pick 5 for the Empire Strikes Back. And Chuba Hubbard, round 17, pick 1 for the Zestmeisters. And walking away with this award was the number 1 tight end of the season. Brock Bowers and the Ithaca Iguanas take home the steal of the draft, a huge pickup, and the number 1 tight end in the fantasy league. A huge get there for the Iguanas, and he really helped propel that offense all season long in a struggling tight end position in 2024. So now we move to the Bust of the Year. We've got 4 awards left in the Bust of the Year. The nominees are Christian McCaffrey, Zestmeisters, Tyreek Hill, Ithaca Iguanas, CJ Stroud, Bay City Bunnies, and Sam Laporta, Bay City Bunnies. And walking away with 90% of the votes, 11 to be exact, the Zestmeisters' very own Christian McCaffrey, the number 1 overall pick in 2024, takes home the Bust of the Year. Not only was he injured for all but 3 or 4 games, he re-injured himself, and even when he played, was not worth it. So, the Bust of the Year, to nobody's surprise, goes to Christian McCaffrey. Hopefully he's healthy for next season and a little bit better. Maybe that's a trend now. Injured, really good. Injured, really good. Well, we'll have to see. Christian McCaffrey's going to have to step it up next year. I'm sure his draft stock is plummeting as the Bust of the Year. Final 4 awards, Now we go to the Rook Award. A lot of fun rookies this season. A lot of rookies that made great fantasy impacts right away. But the nominees are Brock Bowers, Ithaca Iguanas. Bo Nix, Rocky River Rough Riders. Jaden Daniels, the Grand Rapids Groundhogs. Brian Thomas Jr., Empire Strikes Back. And Malik Neighbors, Brisbane Bay Bandicoots. All 5, honestly, were excellent this season, but walking away with 6 votes for the Rook goes to Jaden Daniels out of the Grand Rapids Groundhogs organization. Congratulations to the rookie, Jaden Daniels. You have to imagine his draft stock is going to climb as all of these rookies' draft stocks are going to improve. And you'll hope to not see the sophomore slump next year from any of these guys. We saw that from a couple rookies from last year, CJ Stroud. But congratulations to Jaden Daniels. We hope to continue to see your fantasy value skyrocket and continue to perform well next season. So now we move on. Final 3 awards. We go to the Man Award. This goes to the playoff MVP. This could be from any squad. And the nominees are Jahmyr Gibbs for the Michigan Avengers. He scored 80 fantasy points in 3 games. Jonathan Taylor of the Bowling Green Cave Shrimp. He scored 67 in 2 games. Mike Evans for the Avengers, who scored 78.5 in 3 games. Joe Burrow for the Ithaca Iguanas. He scored 75 in 3 games. Malik Neighbors for the Bandicoots. And T. Higgins for the Ithaca Iguanas, who scored 79 in 3 games. But walking away with the award goes to the big run from last year's champion, the Michigan Avengers, and it goes to Jahmyr Gibbs, who barely squeaks ahead of Jonathan Taylor in the vote. 6 votes for Jahmyr Gibbs this season. Congratulations, Jahmyr Gibbs, on not only walking away with an MVP, but the Man Playoff MVP award. That's a big award, and Jahmyr Gibbs, obviously with the injury to David Montgomery, was much needed and excellent for the Michigan Avengers title game run. So now we get to our final 2 awards, the most popular awards. And this one was fun to watch. We had the Most Irritable Player Award. This was the player that you hated to go against week in and week out. And the nominees are the Rocky River Rough Riders defense, the Josh Allen effect of the Rocky River Rough Riders, or Josh Allen, Jamar Chase's 3 40-plus games, or simply the taunt button. And walking away with 5 votes and the win of the most irritable player, it goes to Jamar Chase's 3 40-plus games. I wasn't on any of those games, so I'm happy, but boy, those must have been very upsetting. He dropped 55, 45, and 43 fantasy points in 3 different weeks. Did not want to be at the end of that. Surprisingly, twice against the Ravens. But the Most Irritable Player Award goes to Jamar Chase and the Brisbane Bay Bandicoots for those 3 40-plus point games. And here we go. We are down to our final award. And this one was close. The VVP, the Very Valuable Player. There were 4 players in contention for it. Jamar Chase, of course, trying to go back-to-back with some of the top awards for the Brisbane Bay Bandicoots. Lamar Jackson of the Zest Meisters. Saquon Barkley of the Empire Strikes Back. And Josh Allen of the Rocky River Rough Riders. And coming away with the 2024 VVP award, he goes to, by just 1 vote, he got 5 votes. We'll start from the bottom, actually. In last place, tied with 2 votes, Lamar Jackson and Jamar Chase. Both with 2 votes. But winning with 5 votes to 4 votes, the winner of the 2024 VVP goes to Joshua Allen, Rocky River Rough Riders. Congratulations, Josh Allen, on winning this year's 2024 VVP. You earned it. I mean, a 50-point game, the most ever by a fantasy quarterback. You carried the Rocky River Rough Riders to an award of the most surprising team, of the playoff 1 seed, to a 3rd place finish, and you got it done. So congratulations, Josh Allen. Congratulations to all of our teams on a successful 2024 campaign. Congratulations to the Bowling Green Cave Shrimp for getting a massive victory this season, taking home their first ever championship. They joined the likes of the Michigan Avengers, the California Poppies, and the Tampa Bay Thunderbirds. But congratulations, the Bowling Green Cave Shrimp, and thank you guys so much, the audience, for tuning in, for supporting us all year long, and sticking with us through this fantasy season. We hope you could help you out, and we can't wait to start off the 2025 campaign with, of course, the annual draft in August. So until that draft in August, we wish you a good off season. Enjoy the playoffs for the NFL and college football. Happy New Year's, and of course, have a good off season, and best of luck next year when we see you again for your draft. Get prepared, because the 2025 season will be even bigger and better than the 2024 campaign. For me and all of the managers here on the Nathan Sports Talk channel, we wish you a great new year, and we'll see you again real soon. See ya, and goodbye.